Y'all gonna think I'm crazy. Hey, Boots Ennis better leave Teofimo Lopez alone. He better leave him alone. I'm telling y'all. Yes, leave that boy alone. He a real one. I know what all that racist rant and stuff like that. Hey, that's one thing. When I'm talking about boxing, that's what I'm talking about. And I'm here to tell y'all, he got what it takes to beat Boots Ennis. Man, the two most athletic fighters in the game. Damn, if they was to go head to head. Woo-wee. Yeah, Boots got all the attributes. He got the height, he got the long arms. But you know who got the better timing? That's Teofimo Lopez. You know who's athletic? Who was the last athletic guy that Boots fought? Karen? Karen was the last one? Yeah. And don't think that Boots gonna be able to out-punch him. Don't think that. No, he not. Because you go back, you watch that Claggett fight. That boy Teofimo Lopez, he got some lungs too. When he full-fledged and hungry, he got lungs too. He threw almost 1,000 punches in that fight. Yeah, Boots, I see you. Your numbers is quite high. You around 600, 500, 600, close to 700 sometimes. But guess who can match that output? Teofimo Lopez. Yeah, Boots. All them little lapses you be having, you ain't gonna be able to have them lapses with Teofimo Lopez. Oh no. That dude is on his game. When he right, when his mind right, it's hard to beat that dude. Explosive, smart. He got a high IQ as well as you do. So look, hey, I'm letting y'all know. Eddie Hearns, if you listening, I'm telling you, if you don't want your guy to get beat, stay away from Teofimo Lopez. You want to give him a couple more fights before you fight that guy? I know Teo is moving up to 47. I get that. Yeah, y'all gonna say the power and all that. Oh, I get all of that. But like I told y'all, hey.
So when I reported yesterday that Teofimo Lopez completely shut down the Devin Haney fight, and he's only focused on the Jaron Ennis fight. In fact, he's already in negotiations to fight Jaron Ennis for the second time. Hopefully the fight comes to fruition this time around. Even then, I noticed a lot of people in my comment section didn't even believe Teo really want to fight Jaron Ennis. They think Teo's gonna pull out of the fight. He's not even gonna make it to the fight. He's gonna make some type of excuse to get out of the fight. And if he does take the fight, he's gonna get smoked. Then make an excuse like when he lost to Kambosos. A lot of people disagreed with me that this fight could be a 50-50 fight or a 60-40 fight. And I'm here to remind you that last time around, it was Jaron Ennis who was not interested to fight Teofimo Lopez because he was focused on unifying the division, rightfully so. However, this time around, there is no one else to unify the division with. All of the other champions don't want to fight Jaron Ennis. Mario Barrios is about to fight Manny Pacquiao, coming off retirement. Brian Norman is fighting in Japan against a Japanese fighter. As you can see, Jaron Ennis really has no one else to fight at 147 outside of Teofimo Lopez, which that's a lucrative fight. In fact, Teofimo Lopez's fight for Jaron Ennis is bigger than both Mario Barrios and Brian Norman fights. Anyways, you guys heard Timothy Bradley say he's picking Teofimo Lopez to beat Jaron Ennis, even though he's only moving up one division. But that's not going to be a problem. Remember, Devin Haney moved up to 140 and looked better at 140 than he did at 135. So that's not going to be a problem moving up one division for Teofimo Lopez. And Timothy Bradley warned Jaron Ennis about fighting the athletic Teofimo Lopez, another athletic fighter just like him. Timothy Bradley said that Teofimo Lopez and Jaron Ennis are the most athletic fighters in the sport. And I disagree that Teo is that athletic. I mean, he's athletic, but Devin Haney is more athletic than him. If we're talking about solely athleticism. And let's not forget Gervonta, Crawford, and fighters like that. So Timothy Bradley was too extreme with the way he was delivering his message. I think he was doing that for the fans to spark some controversy, but at the end of the day, Surprisingly, for the most part, I agree with Timothy Bradley's take. Let me tell you why. One thing about Teofimo Lopez, he might be a duck. However, he ain't ducking this time around when it comes to Jaron Ennis. Let me tell you why. Whenever Teofimo Lopez wants to fight someone, that's because he's really confident he can beat that guy. He thinks stylistically that style favors him. When Teo wanted to fight Lomachenko, he knew he could beat Lomachenko, and he beat Lomachenko. When Teofimo Lopez was calling out Josh Taylor forever, I told you guys then, Teofimo Lopez didn't want to fight Devin Haney at 135 for undisputed because he felt stylistically Devin Haney is going to beat him. However, when it came to Josh Taylor, he was really confident that he's going to beat Josh Taylor, which is why he was dying to fight him, moving up from 135 to 140 right away. He didn't end up doing that, but still, when he did fight Josh Taylor, he beat Josh Taylor in a really good fight. But Teo clearly won the fight. And now Teo is doing it again. He's calling out Jaron Ennis heavy. And you know what that means. It means he feels the same way about Jaron Ennis that he felt about Lomachenko and Josh Taylor. He sees loopholes that he can capitalize on, which is why Teo is turning down the Devin Haney fight. He's turning down the Keyshawn fight. The man who knocked out his father, he don't even want to get revenge, since he don't believe he can beat those guys stylistically. But he believes he can beat Jaron Ennis. If you're not going to take that seriously, then you're tripping. I'm telling you right now, Teofimo Lopez style, he is a really good counterpuncher. He has good timing. He has good power. He has good speed. He has good footwork. He's a good fighter all around the board. We know Teofimo Lopez can take a punch. If he can take Jaron Ennis' punch, then Jaron Ennis is going to be in for a long fight. I'm going to tell you right now, Teofimo Lopez's counter-punching ability is going to give Jaron Ennis a tough time, especially if Jaron Ennis is trying to hurt the man and get him out of there. We all know there are loopholes that Jaron Ennis has in his game. Sometimes he leaves himself too open, too wide open, because he's too offensively minded. And I think that's going to catch up with Jaron Ennis against Teofimo Lopez. That doesn't mean that Teofimo Lopez is going to beat Jaron Ennis. That just means the fight is a 50-50 fight, and Jaron Ennis should not sleep on Teofimo Lopez, nor the fans. This is the best fight to make for Jaron Ennis and Teofimo Lopez at the moment in time. If Jaron Ennis is not available, hopefully Turkey will make the Keyshawn fight happen against Teo, because someone has to beat Teo for the culture. Teo really needs to receive the Beast by Dre, by someone from the culture, for all of the racist remarks that came out of his mouth. And the best to do it is Keyshawn and Jaron Ennis, because even though Shakur and Devin Haney, without a doubt, will most likely beat Teofimo Lopez, however, Teo is going to find an excuse. Oh, they was moving around, even though Teo moves around the ring himself. He's still going to make the excuses that they were running. And it's not going to be that embarrassing for Teo. Teo needs to get embarrassed for what he said. And Jaron Ennis is the perfect guy to do it, or at least Keyshawn. With that being said, hopefully the fight comes to fruition. There isn't any other fight for Jaron Ennis that's bigger than the Teofimo Lopez fight. If Jaron Ennis can't find any unification fights, then it's going to look bad if he turns down the Teo fight for the second time. Hopefully he doesn't, because he got to make an example out of Teo, and that's going to take his career to another level if he do so. You see, last time around, Boots didn't entertain the Teo fight because he had the Stenonius fight in the bag. He was already in heavy negotiations with him, so he was able to pull that off. This time around, Jaron Ennis has no other champion to fight. I hear fans say, oh, Tio is only calling out Boots because Boots has a mandatory. But Boots just recently fought his IBF mandatory twice. And that same guy, I believe his name is Kareem, that same guy, Timothy Bradley was making fun of, like he wasn't all that. He may beat Teofimo Lopez. Styles make fights, I'm telling you guys. As you can see above, that's the IBF rankings and the WBA rankings for Jaron Ennis. So, since Jaron Ennis just recently won the WBA, he shouldn't have to defend it against a nobody. I'm talking about, we never heard of this guy. Why would Jaron Ennis have to fight him at the moment in time? So, I believe Turkey can some way, somehow bypass that if that becomes an issue. Last but not least, when Bradley said that Teofimo Lopez is the real one, I don't necessarily think that's the case due to the fact Tio has been ducking left and right and losing left and right to cherry picks, either by losing or robbing them. It's just this time around, styles make fights, and like I said before, when Tio wants someone, he does for a reason, because he thinks he really can beat that guy, like he did with Lomachenko and Josh Taylor. We shall see if Jaron Ennis is going to be a different story or the same story. With that being said, go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comments section below, subscribe below, and to be continued on the next episode of Akhi, Akhi TV. Peace out. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.